So today is the first day we're going to start messing with this thing. First thing I'm going to look at here is this ramp. I'm just going to show you where we're at with it. So you can see how it gets stuck on the grass here. That ain't good. The primary suspect here being this cabling. You can see how it's just loose and not doing anything. When the cable is tight, it pulls the last section of this ramp up as it lowers. Right now this is not correct, so hopefully with a little bit of finesse we can shorten up this cable a little bit and correct that. Alright, so I monkeyed around with this for about 10 or 15 minutes. After taking a closer look at this cabling, what you see down here, this is the original cable. You can see where it just wore right through, and it hooks in through this bracket right here, and that keeps tension on the ramp as it goes down and allows this secondary piece to rotate at the correct angles as it's opening up. Now what someone had done is put in this new cable, which isn't so new, and it's reinforced right here, which is great, but the cable wasn't tight enough is what the real problem was. So I used a block of wood and propped it up as high as it could go, and that releases the tension on this so I can get the cable taut enough. And I redid these repair cable clamps. Only thing really left to do is clean up the excess. I'll show you how much of a dramatic difference this is now. And of course I put it up and I just make sure that this is resting all the way. If this was any lesser of a design, there would be too much tension right here and this ramp would be sticking out like this. And so the ultimate test, of course, is going down. Going up is easy. And sure, it doesn't move as smooth as it once did, but at least the ramp will go down flat even on grassy surfaces like that and not get caught anymore. Other thing that will have to be done at some point in time is this lining that's on here. You can see it coming up. That upper portion of the ramp is completely missing. We'll take what's on the ramp completely off and get like a Rhino liner spray-on product to put on there, or maybe some other solution. I'll have to think about what we want to do. That'll be down the road since we don't have anything to do with that right now. Just looking at the easy stuff for the time being. 15 minutes, project 1's out of the way. I got 4 hubcaps that I was able to get for free, which is far better than the only 3 matching ones I have on this thing. Granted, they're equally as ugly, but at least I've got 4 of them. So I'm going to throw these on real quick. And that looks much better. Oh, thank God our conversion from red to purple is done. I'm just kidding. This is the donor vehicle. So this is the one that you saw us haul over here. And we're going to be pulling parts off of here. I've got a good battery hooked up to the dead one and was just verifying what works. So turn signal's working just fine, and we verified the brake lights work. So we'll probably pull this light currently and then start pulling the other one out of the other vehicle and see how the switch mechanism works. Other thing I was looking at was the climate control system. It does not work in the other vehicle, but apparently it doesn't work in this one. I don't know if that's just because it's not running or if this one's even worse off than the one in the other van. Something to explore at a later date, but at least I know that it's not running currently.
How about that other window?
Oh, yeah. We need to know if this goes down. Okay, so that one goes down. What about that one? No. You know, that was the important thing that we wanted this thing for. Yeah, nothing. Well, I have to test the radio at some point too. I wonder if we could do that now. It's working. Yeah, maybe it's a common issue or a common fuse that blows out on these that we're looking at here.
Yeah,
That could be the same issue with the climate controls. So we'll have to investigate that before we start pulling parts. At the very least, when we pull out the door panel of your current vehicle, put up a 9-volt battery and see if the motor even works. And we know if we're looking at a regulator issue or a motor issue or...
They're like $30, so...
For the regulator?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll want to diagnose before we start throwing parts at it.
Yeah.
Let's do that taillight first, since that's going to be relatively easy.
Okay.
And kind of important for driving legally.
Right, especially with the turn signal not working.
Mm-hmm. So I went ahead and popped the hatch back to take a look at what we're getting at here, and it appears it's just 2 Phillips screws right here. This isn't a huge problem because it's better than what we got, but this taillight is cracked. But considering there's a switch that I've never dealt with before on the other van, I am thinking that I want to practice first. So if I'm going to break something, I'm going to break something that's already broken. We'll practice on this and see if we can get it working properly, and then maybe somewhere later down the line we'll actually put a replacement taillight in here that's new or in better condition. Alright, so we got both of the taillights out. It's actually relatively easy. I had this one lying upside down because you can see all the moisture on it, so it was leaking. So it's got a little bit of moisture in there. This is the original one. Woohoo! I literally went through and busted out the switch that's back here. I think I'm going to have to just order a new one. So this is the switch that was originally in there. It's just like that. I broke it out of there because this little ring that goes around here is so rusted out, I don't think I'm going to be able to get it off. It's just a 3-way switch. So ground and then the 2 leads going to either up or down on the ramp. All I have to do is get any generic 3-way switch and wire it back in there. Get something waterproof with a thread up the front and drill a hole in it and install it into this piece right here. I got the other one out, the taillight that was in there out, and what they had done is they cut out the back of this, and that's so they can feed the switch through there, and then they duct taped it on just like that, and that held up so well. See, it's even sticky still. I could pick it up with my finger. Total sarcasm. And even the job that they did installing this, they wrapped it up with more duct tape. The appropriate tape to use, if you're going to use any tape at all, would be electrical tape. So when I redo this, I'll be using electrical tape, and instead of taping that in, I'll probably find some sort of epoxy or adhesive, likely JB Weld. Put some JB Weld on there and reassemble that back piece, just leaving a little hole for the wire to come through. Moving forward, I'm probably just going to go ahead and install this one so we have a little bit better functioning tail light. We also got to make sure this turn signal got working. I took the bulb out of the donor vehicle because that one was working just fine, and we're going to go ahead and test to make sure that's functioning properly. And the turn signal is indeed functioning correctly, so just swapping out the bulb resolved that, so that's good to know. Oh, by the way, shout out to Rolex for their quality wiring work. Make sure you hit them up for all of your disability transportation needs. They do quality craftsmanship over there. Alright, so it took a couple minutes to wrap up the switch, and I just tucked it on the inside of the housing there. So it's literally hanging down right now. I don't think it'll cause any issues. We won't be driving it much anyway, so I'm not too terribly worried about it. It'll be safe from the elements, like if it rains, until which point we can get a replacement switch. And then we'll go ahead and rewire that up, and we'll go from there. In the meantime, I went ahead and put this light back in. It literally took 2 minutes to screw it back down. I'm gonna double check the turn signal before I park it, and it works beautifully. We are now legal to drive this thing. Hey! For those of you with eagle eyes and noticed in the last video that the tabs were out of date, I did get the new tabs put on there. So we are also up to date on those.